Hello, survivors. The world of Zealand, Las Vegas is dark, brutal, and unforgiving as it is set during the zombie apocalypse that threatens to wipe out the human race. The content will be graphic and violent in nature, so be prepared. We return now to Zealand, Las Vegas to see how our group of survivors faces this dark new existence. Hello, survivors, and welcome back to Zealand, Las Vegas. As always, I'm joined by Mitch,
Hello,
Chloe, Jesse, Gabe, and Colin. We've all but given up on Matt at this point. He's here in spirit. Over Mitch's shoulder, you still see the talons of Mephistus the demon. He is. We've summoned him in as a stand-in for Matt. That's improvement. I know he's rolling a lot better than Matt when he's here. When we last left off, our survivors had cleared the fire station and found these survivors, the woman and her two kids. They had encountered three zombies and dispatched them with this quickness, as they have done thus far, pretty effortlessly so far, knock on wood. They have kind of found a moment of peace in the chaos following combat. And they're left in the mechanical garage with a fully stocked ambulance, a fire truck, which they've not yet fully searched, and the survivors that they found in the back office, along with the dispatch office that they have not really had a chance to look over because of the events that went on. This leaves pretty much the entire group in the garage, along with the corpses and one chomping zombie head outside on the ground. Mitch and Gabe were raising the bay doors of the fire station, and that is where we're going to pick back up.
once the bay doors are raised all the way,
Yeah, I'd say by now they're fully up.
I want to take a quick look around and look for the true full fireman's axe and gas cans.
For the vehicles.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's no real gas station, I figured they'd probably fill up a bunch.
I feel legit feel bad for people that live in Mount Charleston. Having Googled literally everything that you can find in Mount Charleston, there's no gas.
Yeah.
You have to drive to Las Vegas.
You have to make sure you have half a tank when you get to Mount Charleston.
It's maybe 15, 20-minute drive to the closest gas station.
Yep.
So hopefully you don't have a bad day. All right, so you're searching for fire gear and gas. So go ahead and give me an investigate. Investigate plus 20, because you're taking your time researching.
Okay. I will reroll.
Okay.
So 3.
Using the sigil to reroll.
Come on. Nope. Even worse.
So you search around, you search along the wall with all the tools, you search around the other wall with the hoses and ladders, you search the truck itself, and you don't see any fire axes, you don't see any spare gas cans or anything else. The fire truck itself more than likely runs on diesel because it's a beefier engine. I believe nowadays most of the ambulances should run on normal gas.
Depends.
It depends on the model.
Because most of them are the Ford Super Duty.
Yeah.
It just depends.
So you don't see any spare gas cans here.
Right.
You're doing that. What is everyone else kind of doing? Again, the combat is over. You still have the woman and her two kids, Micah and Julia, in the dispatch office.
I want to try and find a set of bunker gear that fits me, and an SCBA in the event the self-contained breathing apparatus with a tank, especially if we're taking the ambulance, having something where it can breathe in harsher environments, and having thicker, warmer clothes that also protects against scratches might not be a bad idea.
Let's go ahead and roll investigate. I'm assuming for this you would pretty much be searching the fire truck.
No, so
No?
in the bays in the sleep. Are there sleeping quarters here?
No.
See, there's another fire building that we're gonna check after that. That's what I figured. Like the
Okay,
gear
so
would
then,
probably
yeah,
be
so it's probably going to be there.
So this one, there's 2 vehicle bays, and in the back is the dispatch office and the administrative office and the janitor's closet.
So I mean, if they have trucks there that they'd be using, there has to be gear there because they'd be responding there, but they'd probably have less stuff. So yeah.
So because you weren't present for that session, they drove by, and on the map, if you look here, this is where you guys are at right now.
Yep.
Oh, actually, let me click on the Google Earth. I'll learn this eventually. You're over here.
I think that might just be where they store just some stuff, but the other one is like the full actual.
This is a
It's like that's substation 1.
This is a 2-story building over here where you saw one fire truck parked outside.
Okay.
You feel free to search.
But like, I was definitely gonna see about grabbing some fireman's gear, but I figured it would probably
Plus
gonna be
20?
here.
Yeah, plus 20 because you're just using some research.
43, and I rolled a 66. I'm not even going to bother.
So you poke around the truck and you find like the stuff that's bolted on the side. You find like the hoses, the standard gear, but you don't find the SCBA. You don't find the fireman's gear here. Chloe, Jesse, Gabe, what do y'all do?
I'm going to be dragging the bodies out of the doorway and around to the side.
Okay, so you don't need to roll necessarily unless you just want to try to do it quickly or like maybe like carry 2 at the same time. Try to be awesome. All right, so you're grabbing one probably like by the feet. You drag it out from underneath the door around to the side and over here out of the way. I'm assuming so you can drive the ambulance out. Okay, so you do that pretty easily. It's just drying. There's no need to necessarily roll for that. Chloe?
I'd kind of be on watch, just kind of like pacing back and forth in front of the place, like outside the bay doors and everything.
Okay, so you're kind of going back and forth between these 2?
Yeah, just like looking out and about, like looking at the road, looking at the trees, looking at the road.
All right, give me a perception plus 20.
Pass with the 18.
So this is very soon after combat, and when adrenaline starts pumping, your senses are heightened. But sometimes your hearing will kind of like ring out, where so you can focus on like sight and response. And as your hearing starts to just kind of come back over the din of like the crunch and the stabbing noise, or the crushing noises, you're noticing that the car alarm is starting to get a lot harder to hear. As you guys know, like it's been about an hour and a half, going on 2 hours since you set off the car alarm. So it's very much more muffled than when you first parked up at the library. Whereas, distance and up the hill, it was quieter, but still very audible. It's now getting a lot, not only slower, but also quieter. But other than that, you're looking around, you're outside, you're looking down the road, you're looking, kind of down this way, back to the tree line where those ones, well, actually, you didn't see where they came from, but you're looking at the tree line and you don't see anything else. But you do notice that the car alarm is getting slower and quieter, kind of almost progressively as you're paying attention to it while you're patrolling. It's like instead of like honk, 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 it's like honk, honk, and it's getting quieter and quieter.
Battery dead.
Pretty much.
I would probably at that point like just duck inside, see someone, just like, hey, don't know how much time we have left for stuff because the car alarm is really dimming down. Don't know if that means they're going to be coming this way. Don't know if that means you have to be extra quiet, stuff like that.
Okay, so you relay the information to the rest of them there. And most everybody is still in this area. They set up this car alarm. Oh, sorry. Are you asking that to them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. In character.
Yeah, we had accrued a bit of attention on our way here, and we popped a car alarm to draw them all to that. And once we were out of eyesight, they went to the noise versus us.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if we need to do it again,
Yeah.
we can. And honestly, if they
There's a
were,
Ford Mustang back.
and I just kind of turn and look at the fire truck, that's going to be a lot louder, and that can make a much bigger noise if we really need to draw some attention. I personally thought about maybe setting a brick on the accelerator and sending it down a road towards a house with the alarm on, with the
Set it
siren
on.
on.
Set it on fire first.
Set the fire truck on fire. Gabe?
That, or we can go back to where the parking lot is, because that looks like a downhill slope in front of there.
Here?
And see if there's any vehicles down that road, so it pulls them back away from us
Yeah,
instead of closer to the road we're going to be on.
right.
Because so back this way, you know that there is a hill. You're essentially downhill from the Colonel's house, which is kind of back in that general direction, but up a hill. So you are actually downhill from where he lived. It's pretty much a downslope towards this direction, and then an upslope up
Yeah.
towards the mountain.
I was also thinking about just setting it down the road opposite of the way that we'd be driving.
Like this way.
Yeah. Just as far as, I mean, just brick on the accelerator, let it go, and whatever happens to it, just with the siren on.
Churches be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Your car alarms, fire engine. What is going on down there?"
We're drawing everything away from you guys.
Which is true. You're unintentionally benefiting the compound as well.
Right.
Jesse, what do you have to?
I was gonna see if I can find a fire extinguisher.
So you know
You can
from
indeed.
walking through, there is definitely one right inside the door. In the door leading into the hallway, there's one right there on the right hand side in one of those like cabinets for fire extinguishers.
You said there's a few?
There's the one.
So, yeah, I'm gonna kind of like take that just in case, you know.
Okay.
in the car.
There should be one in each of the trucks as well.
Yeah, there will be one in the ambulance, one in the fire truck, and then the one on the door. And you can easily find those. So you now have access to 3 fire extinguishers should you choose to grab all of them.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab the one by the door and just probably take it to the car.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
just put it in
start in your car.
They make great blunt weapons, by the way.
Clunk. So we actually, when I was stationed in lodges, we had over the weekend the airmen decided to throw a party, and then part of that was setting off a fire extinguisher for their party. So we all got to put on our blues and try to explain why there was a fire extinguisher party set off in dormitories.
We had
Pretty
a
fun.
we had a combative patient once who decided to pull a knife on me and the other tech. And of course, the cop wasn't riding with us because we didn't think this guy was combative. So he pulls a knife on 2 unarmed EMTs. So while one is dodging, not have been me, I just grabbed the fire extinguisher and hit him over the back of the head.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yep, got to the hospital. We had to explain to the doc why the patient had head trauma that he didn't have when we initially called it in. And he went, well, the knife got pulled on us and we don't have weapons. And I was trying not to kill him. The doc goes, good enough for me.
Fair enough. All right, Gabe, what are you up to?
After dragging out the 3 bodies, if we're not planning to take the fire truck, take off the other extinguisher there and put it in the other vehicle.
Yeah, so you guys do extinguisher the fire bottle out of you chuck it in Jesse's car. Colin, what are you up to?
I mean, I'm going to be taking the ambulance when we leave, so.
So Chloe has the keys to that car.
Okay. So I'm basically just going to be making sure that we have everything we need ready to go. We've got all our medical supplies in there. Is it fueled up?
So you would have to turn it on to see if it's fueled up.
NATO.
No?
Not fully on. You can.
Well, right. I mean, sorry. Yeah,
I'm not turning it over just
You have
yet.
to turn it over to where the electrical battery's kicking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
So you click it on, and there's 3/4 tank.
That's about what we got, so.
Yep, it's good enough for now.
Yeah, by this time, driving around, you guys would probably, both of you, because you had just gassed up the day that the longest night happened, same as you would both be down to about 3/4 of the tank.
Does the main station have a fueling station for their vehicles?
We can.
You're probably not.
We might. Well, because it's right there on the road, street view might have a really good view of it.
Sure. Let's zoom on.
Honestly, if they both take diesel, so we can take out the gas off the one and fill it to the other.
Through the magic of goo, we're gonna explore. You guys should steal the snowplow and push away to the zombies.
It's fucking tempting.
There is no gas station there. Nope.
There's a propane tank.
You guys could totally steal the little fire mask out over the right.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said propane tanks?
Yeah, look at that big ass propane
That's a
tank.
propane tank right
Yeah, but that's not like
No.
No, never
So
mind.
in the story, this ambulance is not there. There's one fire truck that's outside the stadium. Like that's the proper water with the water.
The actual tanker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
turn it to look at the building that we're in? Maybe.
We can try. I think we tried it last time, but it wasn't great.
Yeah,
It was
that's,
really
Yeah.
weird.
Okay.
and if you click on that, it sends you like way the hell down the road.
Oh.
One more.
Oh.
Hey, there we
Oh,
are.
snap, that's what
That's
that
us.
is. That's where you guys are right now. Look at that. We should have done that like a whole episode ago.
I know what's on that.
And the
Yeah.
what we call it, Connex.
Zombies.
Ants.
Set it on fire.
You guys can check it. It's there.
So, I mean, I go.
I don't know how to open them.
Usually a brute force because there's usually a padlock somewhere. So
Usually at the bottom.
yeah, these would be the pull handles. I mean,
Okay, keep in mind, whereas most fire departments probably do not have firearms on the premise, we are in the middle of nowhere, rural Nevada. So
You know what? I bet the janitor has the keys for this.
Yep. That too.
you check.
Yeah.
All right, so you go through and you don't see any keys that fit. It's a master lock, and you don't see any padlock keys either.
Oh, it's a master lock?
It's a master lock.
Oh man, those things are easy to fucking break.
They're easy to pick too, which is terrifying.
Yeah, no, even I can break them with a t-shirt.
For Christmas, I legit got myself a lockpick set when I was
saw.
deployed, and it takes me all of 10 seconds to pick a master lock. You can shoot them with a shotgun and they'll stay, but you put a little tiny piece of metal in there, pop, done.
Yeah, no, I know how to do it with a towel, a shirt, and then just stick it in and just yank it really hard and pouch at them. So, I guess I'm going to try that. See if I can find a towel outside real quick, and then just.
So give me a burglary plus 20.
Out this entire
Plus
section,
20?
so we're not advocating.
And remember, you still have all your sigils that you haven't used yet. So burglary plus 20.
I used one of them. So, plus 20, I'll go ahead and bump it up.
Okay. So it'd be burglary plus 45.
Yeah, plus 45, so it'll be 75. 32.
So you're working at it, and you have this trick where you use basically brute force to pop it open, and you yank it a couple of times, and the third time, punk, pops open.
Sweet. Were you out there with them? Because I know you wanted to open.
I don't want to open them.
Oh, I thought you said I opened it.
Chloe is out there. She's patrolling back and forth, kind of in front of
Okay.
her.
So, I guess I just.
Well, there's no zombies inside. That'd be really weird. There's not human trafficking going on next to the fire department.
That'd be
3 Asian kids.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah. There's zombie trafficking.
Yup.
So,
cool.
go ahead and see what's inside.
So you pop it open, and so this is like fire rescue, but also during the winter months they have the snow emergencies and this and that. So you see some winter gear, more or less. There's a snowmobile packed in there.
Oh, shit.
Not super great in July or no June. We started.
And yeah.
So there's a snowmobile in there. You see an extra plow. You see a couple of boxes kind of stacked to the left-hand side.
Mm.
And towards the front, you see just kind of some stacks of office supplies, like paper and stuff like that.
Okay.
But so that's what you see, quick glance.
Just a quick one. Alright, so before I search, I'm gonna go up there and see Chloe walking around. So hey, I'm gonna take a quick look in here. Anything? Just thinking.
All right, so before you get to that, Mitch, what are you working?
I'm gonna go over to that dispatch room and
She does not shoot you because she doesn't have a gun.
I was gonna say we have it.
And she opens it, and you see the kids kind of just like sitting. There's the dispatch desk, and then there's like a couple other desks kind of on the other side of that. And they're sitting. One of them's like spinning around in a chair.
we took care of the sick people. Here's pretty safe. We're gonna take the ambulance, and we're gonna go check the other fire station, the one where your husband has gone.
He just said he was going out to look for supplies. That there's not a lot out here. That makes sense.
We'll send him back if we see him.
You said there was a safe place. The military.
Up the road quite a bit. There's an old Mustang parked out front. Take that. The keys, I'll make sure the keys are still in it. It should fit you and the kids. It's loud, but again, they have people there.
Up the road, like there's a lot of roads around here.
And I'll give her the directions.
So you pull out your phone and you show her. All right, so you show her the route, and you go by where you set up the car alarm, and you go up to the colonel's place.
Yeah, there's walls, there's military, there's people.
The route's safe.
Don't stop.
Jeez.
We might try and cause another diversion before we go. If you hear a really loud anything that's not a gunshot, that's your chance.
Okay. So you thank you. Are you coming back here before or after you search the fire department, the other fire station?
Unless something brings us back, no.
So, devil's advocate here. There's plenty of room in the back of the ambulance. If there's enough room in the vehicles for everyone already, if we're going up there, I don't know where we're going. So
We're not heading that way.
never mind. That was more out of character, by the way.
Yeah. Look for a man named the Colonel. He's at, or just tell him we sent you. You'll be okay.
Well, and she kind of motions you out into the hallway and she closes the door behind her. My husband left. It's been a while. If you find him either way, can you let me know?
Yeah.
And like she seemed like crestfallen, like
We have radio contact with the Colonel. So, one way or the other, you'll find out if you go up there.
I mean, you guys are just going right over there. So if
He's not there.
right, but if he's not there, can you let me know? Because if he's not there, I don't know where else he could be, and there's no reason for me to wait.
Yeah.
I gotta keep my kids safe.
Stay in this room. There should be another radio over there. We'll call here. And we'll let you know.
So
The ham radio should still be functioning.
she goes over and she clicks on it. She flicks a few switches. She goes, I've worked dispatch a few times. The CB radios.
Really?
I mean, my husband worked here. I would help out, volunteer on the weekends, stuff like that.
Tell me, you any better with a pistol than you are with a shotgun?
Fair with both.
You sure?
One for one with a shotgun, as terrible as that sounds. And my husband's taking me out shooting. We have a lot of Bureau land management land around here. We'll go out and shoot every once in a while for fun.
I'll pull out the 9mm. Here. This is a little easier to conceal and handle, and a bit better in tight quarters.
And so she takes it, and, like, you hand it to her, and she racks it back, and she like pops the magazine, looks at it, pops it back in, works the slide a couple times.
We've got a couple, and well, now we've got your shotgun. Fair trade.
Do you have any more shells for that, by the way?
I wouldn't know to ask that.
You're not in the room, Colin. Just whether you find anything over there or not.
I'll let you know either way.
As far as the radio over there goes, this is the main dispatch radio. Like this is the
There's
one,
no radio over there at all.
and they'll have their handhelds and whatever's in the trucks. This is the main dispatch building. This is the CD radio that we use for all of Mount Charleston and whatever else we can reach.
The ambulance has one in it. It should reach this, right?
Pretty much anywhere between here in the highway, certain parts, some of the trails get a little spotty, but this has got a better antenna on it.
We'll let you know through the ambulance then. Again, if you hear a really loud noise, wait 200 seconds and get the skidded one. Take the fire truck, take the Mustang, whatever you need.
And looking at the map that you showed her, she lives here. She knows where to go.
Okay.
And she sees the water tanks. That's her landmark. And then you pointed out where because you mentioned the diversion, right?
Yeah.
So you show her like where the car alarm was.
Yeah.
And then if I remember back to where we were looking at the map, there was sort of an alternate route around that. She's
All right.
and you guys still have radio and you still have Church's channel and all that too. So,
Best of luck.
thank you.
We're going to get going.
Good luck.
You too.
So that's, you have that. So before you guys peel out of here and head across the road, is there anything anybody else want to look for in here? Chloe, you had mentioned possibly taking some of the mechanics tools along the wall. And Gabe, you had specifically said you wanted to grab a couple books about car mechanics. And having been around, you see there's like mechanics paradise because they're going to do their own maintenance on their vehicles here and whatnot. This is essentially the mechanic shed for the fire station and fire department vehicles.
It'd be the issue trying to grab the most journal because we can't take all of it.
No, but I mean, you could load some things into the ambulance. It's not full. There's like the gurney in there that you could take out. Because at this point, anyone that's bad off enough to be on a gurney is probably not going to make it anyways. And backs of ambulances are pretty roomy. There's usually like 2 EMTs in the back, plus a patient, plus medical supplies.
Tie the gurney to the back of the vehicle and just have blades on it.
Like take the hard corner, like Tokyo dressed out, and slice out his hand.
I'll start loading some of them there.
All right, so are you just kind of grabbing like general mechanic type stuff, like ratchet sets and different lugs, things like that? Okay.
Question: is this a newer ambulance, like within the past 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, you might want to keep the gurney. This gurney collapses like straight down, so it only sits about this high off the ground, so you can have it in the back there, and it won't really be in the way. And because that can hold about 350 to 450 pounds, depending on which model it is, if we need to move something that's heavy, that could be useful.
A little wagon.
So and you all are in the garage, so you can share this information back and forth in character too. So, okay. So you kind of just start kind of cherry picking. You're looking at your book, like kind of flipping through reference like common tools, things like that. Jesse already had some tools in his car, so you're kind of supplementing because you had spent time organizing tools while they were searching the library. So you're kind of supplementing what you don't have with things that you do have. So in the future, when you're doing something that requires these tools, make sure you remember that you have these so that can give you the appropriate bonus because you have the appropriate tools. And that's kind of the way I run with items in here, like perception. If you have binoculars, you're going to get a bonus. When you start to read some of your books, you might gain some skill points because you have a reference manual. Or if you're just looking at the book as reference, like your broadcraft skill, because you have a reference book, you could get a bonus to that.
Good.
So, all right, so you load up, and we're not going to specify, but you grab like the things that you know for mechanical, like car fixing, and of course some just general tools too, because they're going to have those as well.
I just have written down mechanics tools.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so before you all peel out of here and head,
It was in that container and see what else I can like if I open boxes or anything.
Okay. So you they're sealed, but you have your kind of your crowbar from your
Well, I got my
the tire iron. Well, you have the tire iron.
Oh yeah.
There's usually like one pry bar and 3 lugs on it.
Yeah.
So you pry the boxes up. One contains just kind of generic office supplies.
Okay.
The other one you pry open and roll me a luck skill plus 10.
It's done. Pass with a
50. And
Yeah,
then
that plus 10 that would have been on that.
50, that is a good
Whoa,
success.
hold on.
60.
Okay.
So that is a good success. In here you find 2 full-on Nomex suits, like 2 full firefighter suits. Helmet, shield, the full suit, not the oxygen tanks, but like the turnout suit. So boots, pants, jacket. Adult sized. So Matt might have to do a little bit of tailoring.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Again, this is what you get, Matt, for not showing up. We're gonna make fun of you, call you small.
go ahead and do the word out to go back out, let them know, see if we can like load them up or something.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much easily between you and whoever close there, and you guys can offload those. It's just from a crate to your car or Mitch's car or wherever you want to put them. Right.
Put a suit in both. 1 and 1.
Yeah.
But that's the full helmet with visor. It's not necessarily. It doesn't have the gas mask like he was looking for.
Yeah,
That's
that's a separate.
Yeah, it's a piece of equipment.
Yeah, but that's the helmet with the visor and the full jacket,
Jacket,
pants, boots with suspended arm,
Sweet.
Turn out
and
here.
gloves.
Sweet.
Like and those are like hardcore gloves too. Those are like the basically like punch through fire gloves.
6,000 degrees.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
they're like they're the badass gloves.
Yes.
So you have 2 full sets of those.
Awesome.
You don't want to wear it for too long in the heat, though.
Yeah, because it's June in the game, and it's already. I think last time I looked at the weather for around the time you guys were playing, it was like 87 degrees in Mount Charleston, which means it's like 117 everywhere else in Las Vegas.
So with that, I'll just go ahead and go back to the vehicles and everything. Relay what I saw. Maybe like there's a jet ski in there. I was tempted, but no.
No, it's a snowmobile.
Snowmobile, not a
Snowmobile.
jet ski.
Yeah.
That'd be really weird. All right, are we ready to rock and roll?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go across the street.
So you guys go back to the library. Apparently, I have to zoom back to space.
Took over.
It's still cool looking. Like I'll give it that. It's okay, and it doesn't zoom in fine. I was about to blame Mark Zuckerberg. That's a totally different entity.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I don't know who owns Google.
Pre-Barana.
Something like that. It says
Yeah. I
So
forget the
you
CEO.
load up. You have Jesse's car. You have Mitch's car, and you're taking the ambulance and leaving the Mustang, which is out here.
Yes.
So you still have the keys for the Mustang.
I would let you know to throw the keys in the car.
Yeah.
Leave it unlocked, throw the keys in.
Yep.
So you do that. You all load up various McGovens that you found so far, and you're just planning basically popping across the road to the fire department, right?
Yeah. And keeping parked on the road.
Facing further to Mount Charleston or facing
Away.
there? So you kind of pull up this way.
Yeah.
Who is in the lead vehicle?
Probably me.
So Mitch, and then is it Jesse and then Colin?
Yeah.
All right. So for this part, like obviously you guys are going 50 yards down the road. We're going to say who's sitting with who. We got 3 vehicles. You're all facing that way. All right. So you pull up to the fire station. Yay! And there's actually a fire truck parked outside. And this one is the water truck, the proper water tank truck. The other one's the hook and ladder. This one is the one with, I don't even know how much water they store, some ridiculous amount.
A lot.
Lots.
Are either of the bay doors open?
They're both open. Like, because from when you pulled up, they're both open. One truck is out the bay from when you pulled in and driving by originally was, you see there's nothing in there. There's one truck parked outside and pulling back up. It's the same.
Okay. Well, hop out and
About 1,000 gallons.
Yeah, a lot.
let's check it out.
That might not be a bad vehicle to take, by the way.
Matt has
Want a Range Rover?
the hearing or
Yeah, Matt has enhanced hearing specialization.
Yeah, ain't-
Just in
has
case.
a hearing inside since both doors are open. There was a shotgun shot earlier. That would tell us a good chance that there's anything in there just behind the door or
So it's like right now, shotgun and a pistol.
Matt does not hear anything. So he failed by 2 because usually if he was over there rolling, you guys would all look. He failed by 2. He does not hear anything. I mean, you don't see, and just looking in, you don't see anything looking into the base. And then I think the street view actually gives you a little bit of a view into it. So I'm going to
Yes.
do the magics of technology.
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 We could move it a
The
step
ambulance,
down.
this ambulance that you see is the one that's over in the other.
There's your diversion right there.
There's 4 zombies! Ah! No.
Oh, they're wasting.
You see
Damn,
in the,
that's small.
you see in the bay.
That's tight.
So
How do they get in?
standard fire station, the top 2 floors are going to be like, or the top floor is going to be like your bunkhouse where they have their breakfast. And as I was saying in the last episode, they'll actually like typically live there for 3 or 4 days and then have 3 or 4 days off. So it's a rotation. And you saw Jesse and Chloe, you saw the same on the board of like the rotational bodies. Right, Chloe?
I'm just like, that's super tight looking. Like, how do they get inside the car? How do they open the door?
With practice.
Well, the inside is open. Like it's not just a wall. It's like opens up.
Where
into
you
the
see that door is, it's kind of like an open side bay area.
This is all like a big garage. So you see there's the wall right there, and that
Yeah.
pretty much extends across. So they would get in here, or they would pull out and then get in.
So just put
Okay.
So this is minus the people.
That's us.
7 zombies.
That's us looking around.
There's you guys over there.
And if we need a diversion, we shoot the
Yeah, but both doors are open, and you see in, and both bays are empty. The
Is
fire
that
truck.
Smokey the Bear?
What?
Smokey the Bear statue?
They have the face blurred out, so I'm thinking this is like Crime Stoppers or something. I don't know. It's cops. Both bays are open. There's actually a fire truck in this space right here. You don't see any movement coming from inside.
I'd rather not spend a whole lot of time here, so let's check it quick, yeah?
So what's the battle plan? Who is everyone going in? Are you going to leave Overwatch?
I'll stay outside.
Okay. Matt will stay outside with you too.
Go ahead and hop on top of the fire truck.
Sorry, Matt climbs the side ladders up on top of the fire truck.
Is the tanker inside the bay or outside?
It's out here. It's actually pulled out.
Somebody, before we go in, we should check the reservoirs on it, see if it's actually full. If it is, that's a pretty decent defensive weapon, because if you keep those lines charged, you can use the hose as a cannon.
They think they do that in Hong Kong all the time.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are trained in it. They're really unwieldy. And maybe.
You went from having 2 vehicles to an abundance of amazing
Yeah,
vehicles.
only 3 of us really know how to drive.
Yeah, what else just takes some negatives?
All
I mean,
right,
it could
I'll
be
go
a fun-
towards the open door.
I'll go with him.
So you 2 are going into the bay. Chloe and Matt, you're staying outside. Gabe, Jesse, what are your intentions?
I'm going to go outside with them. I'm going to leave the shotgun vehicle, but the pistol, I just.
Tucked into your waistband. None of you have proper holsters.
No.
You're like true crime style, stuff in the waistband. Gabe, what are you doing?
I'll go inside.
So what do you have armament wise? And you have your Rambo katana.
The kendo.
So, Chloe, you're staying outside with Matt. Are you staying on the ground or are you climbing up on top of the fire truck as well?
I'm staying on the ground.
So you're just patrolling around back in front?
I'll grab my metal bat out of the vehicle.
Okay. So you got your bat, Colin.
K-bar, 40.
So Matt and Chloe, I'll go over Matt. Give me a perception plus. Well, Matt's gonna take a plus 20 because he's higher up. You take a plus 10 because you're patrolling.
Oh.
What'd you get?
Can you tell me if Matt got it or not first?
Not this time. No. What'd you get?
Then I use a sigil.
Good answer. Good answer.
I still fail, but it's a better fail.
So you're walking around and it's only been a little bit of time, so you still hear kind of like the fading noise of the car alarms. From this vantage point, let me back out a little bit. Not that
Did
much.
you mean space?
Not like that. So while I'm making this thing work again, we tried to zoom something, and it shot us like the Indian Ocean in the middle of nowhere. Not even sure what happened. Straight up XCOM style. It was glorious. Zoom in.
The zombies
Enhance.
are
Enhance.
projects.
So you're essentially like, this is the fire truck that Matt is sent out with. You're kind of just
Yeah.
pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
So looking down this way, you don't see anything because honestly, there's literally like nothing out there forever. Back towards the firehouse, you don't really see anything. Looking over here, you're not really seeing any movement. And down the road, you also generally don't see anything. Matt kind of does one of these like off the distance. And he says down the road, he's like, I still see some of the ones kind of falling down the hill a little bit, but they're ways down the road.
The slow ones.
They don't seem to be moving fast. And
I mean, I don't hear screaming.
so Matt rolled for enhanced hearing too. You don't hear anything really above the car alarm itself. So that's, you don't see anything in the immediate area that's an immediate threat.
Once we're inside, I'll take the wooden sword, and if there's anything not solid metal, just metal, like, I don't care if it's like a wood or something, I'll just whack the kendo stick against it a couple times.
So you beat the kendo stick against, like, say, a pillar, a support
Yeah.
pillar. And then from
Just something to generate noise.
from upstairs, you hear a couple of, like, whomps, whomp, whomp. Kind of like how you've heard the janitor and the old man in the apartment.
Okay.
Like that same, like, rhythm, but no screaming.
Right.
Just like a hitting the door
I'll just look to all of you guys, all of them inside.
from upstairs, which from the front you saw had the windows and everything. And
Right.
generically, that's usually, I mean, you all grew up watching firemen slide down a pole. They live upstairs, they work downstairs.
Right.
Could you please have the zombie fall down the hole?
Yeah. So I'm just walking to the like ding ding ding.
But I'll just point out, do we want to clear that before we take a thorough gander? Or do you just want to check down here and skip it? Because upstairs is probably not going to be anything. They're going to keep all the gear down here.
We can just check down here.
So
Just
upstairs,
keep yours up.
like the living quarters, the kitchen, that type of stuff. It's
Yeah,
gonna be what
nothing that we're going to really need to check. Everything that we're going to want is probably going to be down here.
I'm going to pause real quick. We'll be right back.